finally managed to figure out what's going on with the headlights when I had no dip beam last time I was having to poke around with all the wiring. But it turns out, for some reason, for two fuses, which I think are these two, the wire on the back was on the wrong terminal on both of them. But I think it's something to do with the previous owner having fit these flick switches and having cut the wires which went to the indicator stalk and the flash for work lights and things. So I swapped the feeds from the back of the dip beam, and now when you turn the key on onto main headlights, I don't know if you can see the reflection. And there you go. So I actually have dip beam and main beam on the stalk, which is quite nice. And the fuses don't melt, which is even better. Why that was melting, I'm not entirely sure. I presume it's something to do with back feeding back through something. It's all a bit weird, but it works. I even managed to get the brake lights to work as well. Again, it all got power, but it turned out that, let's turn this off. All I had to do was, this is your rear harness loom, which goes right down to the back. It comes up and goes into your bottom plug on your outlets, and I took it off, and it's this bottom left wire in the plug, which is to do with your brake lights. Clean that up, poked it back on, and now I've got working brake lights. So I've got side lights, brake lights, indicators on both sides. I've even got side lights on the other side on the front wings. All I am missing to get everything to work is this left hand side light. I don't have a side light nor an indicator. So apart from that, I'm just finalising a few bits to do with the wiring. I'm getting there. I'm still thinking about redoing this bonnet loom, which goes up across the side of the bonnet all the way to the front, but not yet. The wiring's all a bit melted from where, and so I've had to like tape it all up because there was no sheathing on any of it here. But at least I've managed to get it all to work, so I know the wiring does work. It's just not quite. It's not quite perfect. As you can see, there's a lot of just bare wires. One thing I do want to have a go at doing this weekend, I don't have a temperature gauge working on the dash, but I think when I rebuilt it, I'm going to put this top thermostat rail on. There's your thermostat, and this is like the rail which feeds towards the back of your block. This here should be where the temperature sensor goes for your radiator, for your temperature gauge on your dash. And I'm pretty sure I must have swapped this rail with my spare engine one. So I need to go and have a look in the engine shed and see if I can find the spare engine with a water rail. Make sure it's got the sender in it, and take it out, swap up this one, and then I presume, if this is the wiring loom which goes to all your actual engine, starter, alternator and ancillaries, there's a wire here which doesn't go to anywhere. I presume this one must go to a temperature gauge, but I'll have to do some digging and see. When I do, I'll let you lot know. Been to get the temperature sensor, but the only thing is I've noticed is on the rail on my spare engine and most engines, the sensor should be at the front next to a thermostat, but I don't have a hole, not in this one, and to change this is quite a big job because it goes, I'd have to take quite a lot off, and at the moment it doesn't leak. So I've mounted it at the back, so at least it'll give me some sort of temperature reading. I've just found that it is this wire, so I just quickly earthed it out, and when you turn the key on now, it does actually go flat out and it drops back down. So I do know that that wire is for the temperature reading, which would be quite nice. At least I'll be able to keep an eye on what's going on when I get the radiator back. But that's a different story. So yeah, see if I can put a piece of wire now between here and my sensor, and that'll be another little thing ticked off the list. I haven't managed to do too much to it this week. Been busy doing other things, so hopefully I'll be able to do a bit more to it when I get the radiator back, because I want to check the hydraulics work. They did work, but then they stopped, but I'm not sure why. Not much of an update, it's more just a continuation of wiring troubles, but I'm getting there. I want my radiator back, and then I can start it up and move it. But that'll do, and it's only a little video.